What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope that you're all as excited as I am to do a brand new tour video. We are now in 2025, and a thing that I like to do on this channel is once a year, I pretty much just go down the line and talk about all the manga that I have at the start of the year before I start doing hauls and whatnot, and adding more stuff to the collection. I like to show people what I have in the collection. So I wanted to give you kind of like a rundown of how this video is going to go about. So pretty much I have, as of the making of this video, A through J shelves. So as I go through each shelf, I'll show you how many volumes of manga are in each shelf. So I'm going to start with the A shelf, which is this shelf right here. And then from there, I'm just going to kind of go around the room all the way to my J shelf. So yeah, like I said, as I go through them, I'll show you, pretty much, obviously, the manga that's on the shelf, and try to say a thing or two about each volume. But I'm going to have to be careful so that I don't make this video extremely long, because if you're a watcher of my channel, you know that I can talk. I can just go on and on. But given that there's I want to say almost 1,200 volumes of manga, if not 1,200 volumes of manga. I did kind of like a rough count, just before starting to record. So yeah, I think I'm about 1,200 volumes of manga deep. So yeah, I don't want to waste, too much more time. Just wanted to give you that quick rundown of how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to go around the whole room and talk about everything that I have that is manga-wise, and then also kind of show you the stuff that I have, at the top and whatnot, just to kind of, give you, a proper sort of a room tour and whatnot. And yeah, I hope that you like this. If you're not subbed to the channel, please sub. I've got tons of content. I always make videos of the stuff that I buy. I don't just buy this manga just for the sake of having it on the shelf. If you've been here a while, you know that I do, try to make an effort to talk about as much of the stuff that I own as humanly possible. So it's not like I'm just collecting this stuff because, hype. I like to talk about the things that I collect and whatnot. And yeah. I got nothing else for you at the beginning of this video. You won't see my face for the rest of this video. It's all just going to be shelves because I just want to get to it and show you everything. And yeah, I hope that you're excited. It's a brand new year, 2025. We're going to start it off right. I got tons of plans for new content that I'm going to be dropping this year. So yeah, please stick around. I hope that you enjoy the rest of this video. Alright, so we're going to start here on the top of this shelf. And so what I have here is Blade of the Immortal, volumes 1 through 10. So this is a series that I have not yet started, unfortunately. I've had it since the last tour video that I did, but I do want to start it this year. I've got plans for a lot of the stuff that I have that's full collections, and then I'm going to show you what's going on the inside of the A shelf. Alright, so right here we've got Gantz. This is one of my absolute favorite series of all time. I've got everything up to volume 12 right there of Gantz. And then right next to that we've got Elfen Lied. I've got the whole series right here. The complete set of Elfen Lied. I used to love the anime. Anime was one of my favorite things ever. Kind of the same thing with Gantz. I used to watch the Gantz anime, and then I ended up reading all of the Gantz manga. I read all of the Gantz manga on this site online, this scan site or whatever, and ended up just collecting it just to own it because it's I read the whole thing online, and then I wanted to support it, so I ended up picking up these omnis. And then Elfen Lied, I haven't finished reading these. As you can see, this one's still sealed, but I did read this first volume, and I kind of want to go back and reread it. Same deal with Blade of the Immortal, and just do a huge video about Elfen Lied. And then we've got Kurosagi Corpse Delivery Service. I've got volume 2 is missing because it's on my TBR shelf, but I got the first 5 volumes of Kurosagi Corpse Delivery Service. Alright, and then we've got High Rise Invasion. I've got the whole set of High Rise Invasion. I've read the first volume of it so far. As you can kind of see right here, 3 and 4 are missing from here because I have them on my TBR shelf. And then we've got the first 3 volumes of the Shaman King omnibus. I haven't picked up the rest of it just because like I actually want to like try to start reading it before I pick up any more of it. And then we've got Yokohama Kaidanchi Gikko, which I'm not sure when I'm gonna start, but I really didn't want to pick up too much more of this one either until I started reading it. And then down here we've got Destiny Lovers, the whole set of Destiny Lovers. I did a video about this series a while ago, and it hasn't done too well. It's got a lot of views, but hasn't received like a lot of love. So I think people really didn't like my take on that series. And then we got Mashal right there, volumes 1 through 8 of Mashal, and then we've got the whole set of Platinum End, and I got give you a better look at those volumes right there, Platinum End. And yeah, that's the whole set of Platinum End. Platinum End, it's the same creators who made Death Note, by the way. So yeah, it's kind of cheesy, I guess, if you will. It's not the same as Death Note, but I think it's still worth it's a series worth checking out, I guess. All right, so up next we have the B shelf, and as you can see, we've got a bunch of Gomi Can't Communicate. I have up to 16 and then 19 randomly. And the reason for that is like I was picking this series up during like COVID, and some of these volumes were extremely difficult to come by. So like I just like randomly saw that 19 had like 5 copies left, and I was like, I gotta pick that up before it sells out, and then ended up just like not picking up 17 or 18, and I think it's up to like volume 30 something now, and I kind of want to sell my copies of the series. It's like I'm not sure if I'm gonna continue reading it or not, but next up we've got No Matter What You Say, Furi-san is Scary. That was actually a really good series, and it ended on that 5th volume there. That was the final volume of No Matter What You Say, Furi-san is Scary, which is like a really cute series. I actually talked about it in a video. I don't know if it was like my I think it was my I've been reading rom-com video. And then we've got Reincarnated as a Girl. I talked about that series in one of my other videos that I did. I think it was the Isekai one. Yeah, I think it was. I talked about it in my Isekai video. And then we got Hitomi-chan is Shy with Strangers. I got volumes 1 through 5. I think it's up to like 8 or 9 now, but I only picked up through 5 and then ended up just kind of like calling it a day with it. I don't know if I'll ever continue it again or not, but then we got Kubo Won't Let Me Be Invisible, which is kind of cute. I talked about that one in my one video as well, my rom-com video. We got the first 4 volumes of that, and then I have Bake Monogatari. We got the first 10 volumes of the series. I started reading the first volume, or actually I read the first volume. I was going to do it for a video, and then I was going to talk about it in a video, and then I never did for whatever reason. And then right next to that, we've got Akame ga Kill Zero. That was a gift from my friend Justin. And then beneath that, let's go for like the ones in the back, because like I have like a lot of different stuff here. Sorry, I'm trying to like move my lighting around. I'm not going to be touching the volumes too much, where like I have to hold my light up to give you a better look. So I'm sorry about that if you wanted me to like give you a better look at some of these. I will with the ones where like I can actually set my lighting down. I'll try to pull some volumes out of the shelf or whatever. But we've got Call of the Night here. We got volume 1, 2, 3 is missing because I have it on my TBR shelf, up through 9. And then right next to that, actually a really good series. I talked about that in a video a while ago. Hey, Have You Read, I think. Then we got Soul Liquid Chambers. I don't have Dance in the Vampire Bund, which is by that same creator, but I do have Soul Liquid Chambers, and I got all of Gigant in the back there. Can't really show you the numbers because of these other shelves in the front of them. And then we got Hide and Closer. That's the whole set of Hide and Closer. And then we got Happy Sugar Life. Volume 1. That was a gift from my friend Justin. And we got all of Biomega by Tsutomu Nihei. And then right next to that, we got Drip Drip by Paru Itagaki, who was a phenomenal creator. I love Drip Drip. That is such a solid series. That is such a solid one shot. And then next to that, we've got The Girl in the Arcade. I have the first 2 volumes of that series. Didn't continue it. I don't think I'm ever going to continue it. And then we got Crazy Food Truck as well. I don't know if I'm going to continue that series either. And then I could put my lighting down. We'll look at People Chew here. This is one of my favorite creators ever. This is Felipe Smith. This dude is an absolute nutcase, and I love People Chew. And I got MBQ also by Felipe Smith. So that was really rad to pick those up, and I have all the manga that he's released. It'd be cool to see him do more manga. He also did Robbie Reyes. And then we got Kingdom of Z. There are 3 volumes right here, Kingdom of Z. This is by this is a gift. These are a gift from my friend Justin. He's gifted me a lot of manga, so like every time like I show you something that was a gift from him, I'll pull it out. And we got Honey Trap Shared House. I should be careful with showing you some of these covers because YouTube might not be too appreciative of me showing like super cleavage heavy covers, and like I showed you that People Chew one. I'm kind of hoping that doesn't end up being a strike against me. Then we got The God of High School Volume 1. I have Volume 2 on the TBR shelf. We got Mysterious Disappearances, the first 3 volumes of the series. I think I have Volume 4 pre-ordered. This is a great series. I talked about this in a video. I really like it a lot. Saw the anime. The anime is solid as well. We got Berserk. I ended up picking these up, these 2 right here, 41 and 41, because I wasn't sure if these are going to get the Omni treatment, you know, the hardcovers. I have the, was it 14 or whatever that these are in, and I didn't think they were going to come out, so I ended up just like buying these just to support it. And now they released the Omni, and I'm not going to get rid of them. I'm just going to keep them, you know, just to support, because I love the work of Kentaro Miura. And then right here we got H.P. Lovecraft, The Hound, and Other Stories. I did a video about an H.P. Lovecraft story called At the Mountains of Madness, which was a collab between my good friend Nick and myself. And then right here we've got MPD Psycho. This is the same dude who does Kurosagi Corpse Delivery Service. And then one of the dudes who does Kurosagi Corpse Delivery Service. And then right here we got My Poison Princess is still cute. I think I have this whole set, or at least I have Volume 2. I don't know if I picked up Volume 3 yet or not, but I do have at least Volume 2. It's only 3 volumes. It's a good. The whole series is completed in 3 volumes. And then we got Gaina of the Snow Sea. This is Tsutomu Nihei. Like, he wrote it, and somebody else did the artwork, as you can see right there. Itoe Takemoto did the artwork for that one. And then we got a whole bunch of Rent a Girlfriend. I kind of regret picking these up because like the more I learn about the dude who created it, the more I'm just like, eh. But I actually kind of really liked the series, and I did read quite a bit of it. Ended up like not continuing it because like I don't know, I think he's just kind of like a weirdo. But this is a series that like I really want to read, and like I've had these 2 volumes forever. Like I really want to read the series because the artwork is gorgeous, and I've heard really good things about it. People always tell me to read it, that it's solid. And then we got Ayashimon. I got the first 2 volumes here of it. I have Volume 3 on my TBR shelf because for whatever reason, like I still have not read it, even though I've been wanting to for forever. But this is Yuji Kaku, who is a phenomenal creator. He did Hell's Paradise, which is one of my favorite series. And then right next to that, we got the first 2 volumes of 7 Billion Needles. Coming by Volumes 3 and 4 of 7 Billion Needles has been nothing short of impossible. And then right next to that, we've got In the Name of the Mermaid Princess. I talked about this series in a video. I can't remember which one it was exactly, but I do remember that I talked about it. I talked about the first volume of this in a video as well. This is the 3rd and final volume of Yomotsu Hegui. And then right next to that, we've got the 3rd and final volume of The Witch and the Night Will Survive. I'm not sure why I didn't put this with the other 2 volumes. And then we got Nina the Starry Bride. This now has an anime, so that's cool. I actually really like that first volume. I talked about that in the video as well. Alright, so now to the last part of this B shelf. We've got Tomo-chan is a Girl, which is a super adorable series. This is the complete set of Tomo-chan is a Girl. I think it's a really cute series. I talked about it in a video. I was going to talk about this one in a video, but I did not like this whatsoever. Captain Momo's Secret Base. I thought it was terrible. I think I might have actually mentioned it in the video, but I'm not 100% on that. Hulk I've been wanting to read this forever. It's got an anime. I Want to Do Bad Things with You. I've been debating whether or not I want to continue this series. Dark Gathering. I mentioned Dark Gathering in my Barnes and Noble haul video that I did recently. I was saying that I wanted to pick it up. I was going to pick it up at Barnes and Noble, but ended up kind of holding off. And since then, these were on sale on a Black Friday sale, so I ended up picking all of it up. Not all of it, I'm sorry. I ended up picking up these first 4 volumes of Dark Gathering. And then we got Oshinoko right here. I really like the series a lot. I need to continue it. I'm up to I think, yeah, volume 4 is missing, so that's where I'm up to. I want to continue it, see where it goes from there. And then Chain Soldier. I really like the series a lot. I'm on volume 6. As you can see, my volume 6 here is missing because it is over on it's over on the TBR shelf. This is a great series. It's super fan service heavy. If you're into that, artwork is absolutely solid as well. So I definitely think that is something that's definitely worth checking out. All right, so right here we got Gannibal. This is one of my absolute favorite series that was translated into English this year. Absolutely killer series, dude. Artwork is amazing, and I've had a ton of fun with it. I just got volume 3. I think it's in the mail. It's on its way to me. And then we got Snowball Earth. I got volume 1 of Snowball Earth. I got up to volume 3 or 4. I'm not even sure. Full Night, I'm going to go ahead and say this is honestly probably my favorite manga of 2024. This 100%, I gotta say, was my favorite series that came out this year. So that's kind of a spoiler for my favorite things 2024 video. But I'll talk about it more. I'll talk about it more when I do that video. But yeah, Full Night please read Full Night, dude. That's all I gotta say. It's gorgeous. I did a video about it. And then right now, next to that, we got Boys Abyss. Also did a video about Boys Abyss. That is a great series as well. Then we got Panorama of Hell, and then we got The Town of Pigs, both by the same dude. I'm going to show you the cover of this one because I feel like it's not going to get me in trouble. The cover of the other one might get me in trouble, but yeah, these are by the same dude, Hideshi Hino, absolute classic. And then next to that, we got Planets. I'm going to come around the lighting so I don't screw with my lighting too much. And then we got Planets right here. We got the complete set of Planets. This is the same dude who does Vinland Saga, Makoto Yukimura. And then next to that, we got the first 2 volumes of The Tower of God. These are in a hardcover. I like the series quite a bit. It's got an anime that's up to season 2 now. The cool thing is, I think the dude who directs it, the anime, is South Korean, if I'm not mistaken. If it's the same dude who does God of High School, then it's the same dude. And then he's a Korean creator. Then we got the Horizon Volumes 1 and 3. Volume 2 is on my TBR shelf. Really like the series a lot. I talked about the first volume in a video, and it definitely blew me away, caught me by surprise. Didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did. JH, same creator. This is the Boxer. Boxer is solid as well. I got the first 3 volumes of it. I picked up volume 3 during my video that I did at Barnes & Noble. And then next to that, we got the Breaker volumes 1, 3, 4, 5 of the Breaker. Volume 2 is on my TBR shelf. This is a solid series. I hate that I have so much stuff on the TBR shelf. And I'm going to show you my TBR shelf, and I'm going to feel a lot of shame, when I show it to you, because there's so much stuff on there that, it's been on there for a long time that I should have read by now. And I still haven't, because, I just keep trying to keep up with stuff that's coming out, and unfortunately, that is my biggest fault, is that, I keep trying to keep up with new stuff and end up not continuing things that I've already started. But this is a phenomenal series right here. The Hellbound. Highly recommend this one. It's such a good read, dude. It feels like you're reading a film. I started watching the Netflix one, and I couldn't really get into it. And then we got The World After the Fall. So these are all manhwa, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that or not, but these are all manhwa. These are all manhwa up to here, up to Immortal Regis. These are all manhwa. I kind of want to make a manhwa shelf. Unfortunately, this one over here should be over here. I don't even know why the hell I didn't put that over here. given that that is also a manhwa. But yeah, we got Noragami. I love the anime, dude, for Noragami, so I had to pick up the manga. I'm gonna start reading it at some point. I want to maybe eventually do a video about Noragami, because Noragami is one of the best series ever. I love this dude right here. That's my boy. That dude, there's my boy. I love him. And then we got Fire Force. We got the first 4 volumes of Fire Force. I've had volume 5 in a cart for a long, long time, but I really don't want to pick up any more of it up until like I start reading it. But I've watched a lot of like the anime. I've watched all the available seasons of the anime, and then there's a new season that's coming out. I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but this is my C shelf. I should have mentioned that previously. But yeah, this is my C shelf, and so let's kind of move it down here, and I'll readjust my lighting so that we can get a better look at these Berserk volumes. Alright, so right here we've got Berserk volumes 1 through 11, and then over here this is my D shelf, but we're not going to get to that right now. I have what are essentially my hardcovers running in a line across all of these shelves, but it's going to be hard to show them to you. So yeah, like as you can see, they're not going to come out that great because my lighting isn't facing over here. But I kind of have all these. You know, kind of in the line, you know, kind of going all the way across. And so that's the way that I have this whole thing, you know, kind of structured. Up until over there, like it doesn't like lend into that final shelf over there yet. But for the most part, like this is the shelf where I keep my hardcovers, like all my like oversized hardcovers. I kind of keep them right here. It's kind of like the idea of them, you know, kind of going down the line, you know, straight like that. So yeah, these are my Berserk hardcovers. I'm only up to 5. I read quite a bit of it online a long time ago, so I'm not really sure up to where I'm at. I might even honestly be up to like maybe here, given the like I read a bit beyond the Eclipse, which I think starts here, and then I think bleeds into 6 if I'm not mistaken. And then down here we've got one of my favorite series ever that I already talked about previously, Hell's Paradise by Yuji Gaku. Phenomenal series, and we got the whole set right here up to 13. It bums me out to no end that his other series Ayashimon was cut short at like 33 chapters or whatever. And then right here we got one of my absolute favorite series. This is Origin by Boichi. Got the first 6 volumes of Origin. This series is absolutely bananas. It's such a wild story, dude. Highly recommend checking it out. I'm going to be doing a video about it at some point. And then right next to that, we've got Portis. This is going to be extremely hard to get your hands on if you're able to get your hands on it. I think I saw it going for like $300. I got lucky and got a copy for like $12. I think like $12 shipped or something. And then we got, right next to that, we got Goku Rakugai. I did a video about the series when it first started serializing in English. And so, yeah, I got the first 3 volumes of that. Like, I'm reading it on the Shonen Jump Viz app. No, I'm not actually. I started reading it on the Shonen Jump Viz app, and then I continued reading it on the Manga Plus app. And then we got Steel of the Celestial Shadow. We got volume 1 here. I got volume 2 on the TBR shelf because I'm pretty sure I have volume 2. And then right next to that, we got Be Very Afraid of Kanako Inuki, which was a gift by my friend Justin. So this dude's gifted me a lot of manga, and I've gifted him a lot of manga as well. And that's one of the ones that he's gifted me. This is a gift all its own. This right here is a gift that keeps on giving. If you like super introspective, contemplative sorts of manga, I recommend checking this out. It's not, peak. It's not action-packed. It's literally like a bunch of old-timers that used to make manga that kind of get together and try to make a manga again, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's super well made, and I absolutely love it. And then right here we got Shuna's Journey. This is by Hayao Miyazaki, who we all know and love as like a grumpy old man who makes just absolutely gorgeous films. And I need to read that at some point in time. I don't know if I'll do it for a video or not, because I don't know if I'm going to end up getting in trouble for that one. Alright, and then down here we've got Parasite. We've got the whole set of Parasite in these paperbacks. I don't have the, what is it, those hardcovers that came out. I don't own any of those, but I do have these paperbacks that I've had for a really long time. I've had them for years. And then right next to that we've got Witch Hat Atelier Volume 2. I have Volume 1 on the TBR shelf. And then right here, one of my favorite manga series that came out this year in English, Search and Destroy. This is the first time that this creator used like an Apple, Apple iPad and an Apple Pencil or whatever to create the series. Before that, he would like use pencils and whatnot. So this is the first series that he created digitally. And before that, he did another series called Death Cove that I really would love to get my hands on. And then right next to that, we got Kaguya Bachi, which is a series that was memed into oblivion and ended up, because of all the memes, becoming extremely popular. And I did a video about it when it first came out. I think there was like 10 chapters of it out, and I talked about it in a video. I remember people were making fun of it, and whatnot. And it's still, the people still make jokes, when the new chapters drop, people still make like Kaguya Bachi billionaire or whatever video jokes. And right next to that, we got Darling in the Franxx, the whole set of Darling in the Franxx. This series just concluded as well. These are both by the same creator, by the way. Ayakashi Triangle and Darling in the Franxx are by the same creator. This one just ended. And then right here we got Under Ninja. This series is so irreverent, dude. I loved every second of Under Ninja. I got the first 3 volumes right here. I got Volume 4 right here. Volume 4 is upside down. I don't know why Volume 4 is upside down, but it is no longer upside down. Please don't tell anyone that volume is upside down. Alright. Alright, that was my C shelf. On to the D shelf. Alright, so now we are on to the D shelf. And on the D shelf, we got one of my favorite mangaka ever, which is Junji Ito. Alright, so we got Uzumaki right here. So for the most part, I tried to put these all in order. So I'm really hoping that they're actually correct and in order. And the reason that I'm putting everything in order for Uzumaki, for Junji Ito, is that I'm kind of going down the line and trying to read all of these for a video. They're kind of like tight in there, so I'm not going to do too great of a job of pulling them out. But right there we got Uzumaki, we got Gyo, we got Fragments of Horror, Tomiye, Shiver, Frankenstein, Smashed, No Longer Human. I'm going to be talking about No Longer Human in a separate video as well, where I'm going to be talking about the original novel, No Longer Human. And then I'm also going to read Furuya's No Longer Human, all for the same video. And of course, Junji Ito's No Longer Human. And then we got Venus in the Flytrap. We got Remina. We got Love Sickness. We got Censor, Deserter, the Liminal Zone. Liminal Zone 2 is coming out soon. I got Black Paradox. I think this was supposed to get a second volume, but I don't think it ever did. And then we got the hardcover version of The Solving Classroom. I also have the paperback. And then we got Tombs. We got Soichi. We got Mimi's Tales of Terror. And then beneath that, we got Alley. We got Uncanny, which is his autobiography. This is his autobiography. And then next to that, we got Cat Diary. This is the paperback. I have the hardcover as well. And then we got The Solving Classroom, as I said before. Like, I had it up there in the hardcover. So I got it right here in the hardcover, and then I got the paperback right there. And then we got Tokyo Revengers Volume 1. This is the Barnes & Noble exclusive. Tokyo Revengers Volume 1. I picked this up in the first Barnes & Noble haul video that I ever did. And then we got volumes up to, 5 of Tokyo Revengers. And then I picked up a bunch of, like, these One Piece Omnis. And at some point in time, I may end up continuing this. I kind of wanted to pick up the box set, but I just kind of liked these Omnis. I don't know, like, I saw them and they really piqued my interest. So I decided to kind of pick it up in these. It's probably going to take me a lifetime to pick up all of these, but hey, whatever. And then we got volumes 2 through 6 of Mysterious Girlfriend X. I got volume 1 on the TBR shelf. I'm like halfway through it. I've been reading it for a while for a video. Hopefully, sooner or later, I can finally finish it so we can, get a video going for that series. I may even just like do the whole thing, back to back and knock out a video about it. All right, so let's move down here and let me move my lighting so that we can get a better view of the stuff down here. Alright, so then I already showed you all this, but I'll give you another look at it with some lighting. So we got volumes 12 through 14 of Berserk, and then this completes the Miura run of Berserk. This contains, was it 40 and 41 of the initial run, and then like I think sketches and whatnot that Miura Sensei had done. And then right here we got the complete set of Hellsing, which is a phenomenal series. I've seen both iterations of the anime, the original one that came out forever ago, and then the Ultimate one. I saw both of them and thoroughly enjoyed both. I think I like Ultimate a lot more though. And then we got Trigun, which is one of my favorite series ever. We got the initial run of Trigun, and then we got Maximum. I got the first 2 volumes of Maximum. I don't have 3 yet, but I will hopefully get my hands on it soon. And then next to that, we got Vinland Saga volumes 1 and 2, and these are absolutely gorgeous. These volumes are beautiful, dude, and like it's got these like runes that are like inlaid or whatever. It's super well done. I think it's absolutely beautiful. The job they did with that is immaculate. And then right next to that, we got Junji Ito's Cat Diary, Yon, and Mu. And I said before that I have these. I have this in a paperback as well, which is right there. So I got it, right there in that paperback. And then beneath that, we have Dan to Dan, Dan to Dan, which is one of my absolute favorite manga series. I read this on the Manga Plus app. Just absolutely beautiful artwork. I think Yoki Nobutatsu, a former assistant of Tatsuki Fujimoto, is just a hell of a mangaka. I don't read these again. I just kind of pick them up to own them to support because I love the series. I kind of do the same thing with Chainsaw Man. So some of the stuff, or a lot of the stuff on these shelves is stuff that like I'd already read previously, and like I just kind of picked it up as a means to support the creators. And we got Tank Chair right there. Super irreverent series. I talked about this in a video. I talked about Dan to Dan in 2 separate videos as well. And then I actually talked about After God in the same video that I talked about Tank Chair in, which is actually the last video I dropped just before this one. I talked about Sakamoto Days in the video as well, and I got the first 8 volumes right here of Sakamoto Days. Oh yeah, it's got an anime now. I haven't watched it, but I do want to. And we got Girl on the Shore right here. You know what? Let's just put this right here. Let's just put this right here so we can have both of these together. You can have both of these Girl on the Shore volumes together. So this is the original paperback of Girl on the Shore, and then we got the hardcover right here of Girl on the Shore. I'll probably end up reading the paperback and then just kind of like talking about it at some point, because I do want to do a video about Inyo Asano and talk about his various works and whatnot. And then we got Goodnight Boon Boon right here. I talked about this earlier in the video. I'd done like 5 videos, I think. What was it like? Yeah, 1, 2, and then 3, 4 videos. No, sorry, I did 4 videos about Goodnight Boon Boon. I did like Let's Reviews, kind of talking about Goodnight Boon Boon and how just brutally depressing it is. Phenomenal series though. And then down here we have Mieruko-chan, which is a series that I thoroughly adore. This gets better and better. Each volume of the series has just gotten progressively better. Phenomenal series. And then right next to that we got the complete set of Blade of the Moon Princess. I'm missing volume 2 because it is on my TBR shelf. But I talked about this in a video. I think it was in a currently reading video that I talked about Blade of the Moon Princess. I actually really like it quite a bit. Wasn't a fan of it at first. The first part of it's kind of hard to get into, but then like once it gets to Earth, it becomes a hell of a lot better. And then we got Slasher Maidens. I picked this up when I was in Orlando That was my first Barnes and Noble video that I did, and I've since gotten up to volume 7, which at the time that I picked this volume up, oh, gotta be careful, gotta be careful. At the time that I picked up that 7th volume, that was the latest volume. At this point, there's probably like up to like 9 or 10. And then right next to that, we got Kaiju number 8. I talked about Kaiju number 8 in the video. I really like this series a lot. I think it's really well done. I got up to, yeah, right there, volume 4 is missing, so that's as far as I got. And then there are my other 2 volumes of The Witch and the Night Will Survive, volume 1 and volume 2. I read the first 2 volumes of it, so I'm really hoping that it can somehow tie up this story, but I'm not sure that they will be able to in 3 volumes. It's especially considering like how much they set up. I'm curious as to see like how the hell we're gonna tie this whole thing up in 3 volumes. But yeah, that was my D shelf. On the E shelf. All right, so on the E shelf, we're gonna start off with Dorohedoro, and this is the complete series of Dorohedoro. This is a series that I also read on a scan site. This is the first time I ever heard about the series is like when I started reading it on the scan site. Like I would just look for random stuff to read, and I don't read on scan sites anymore. Just to let you all know, I did. When I was first getting into manga, like in 2014, 15, I would just read however I could. Or even before then, I think like even like 2013 is when I started kind of like reading on scan sites and whatnot. But yeah, I just kind of used it as like a way to read however I could. And then once I started to like, work more hours and like start to get deeper and deeper into manga, I wanted to start supporting all the different stuff that I would read on scan sites. And that's kind of how I came to own all of Dorohedoro. And well, I guess like part of the reason that I'm such a like psychopath with collecting manga. And then over here by the same creator, by Q Hayashida, which is one of my favorite creators ever, we got Die Dark right there. This is her follow-up series. I have up to 7. I haven't read 7 yet. It's still on my TBR shelf, but I've read all of these, and as of this volume right here, as of volume 4, I started doing videos, I started doing Let's reviews and whatnot for Die Dark. So every one of these volumes up to 6, I've done Let's reviews. I did a Let's Talk About, and I did a Why You Should Read for Die Dark, and the Why You Should Read is done extremely well on the channel. And then one of my favorite series ever right here by Tatsuki Fujimoto. I did 2 videos about this, Fire Punch. I did 2 videos covering Fire Punch. And then right here we got the rest of Fire Punch, volumes 1 through 8, and that completes the whole Fire Punch collection. And then right next to that we got Chainsaw Man, all the available volumes of Chainsaw Man. I read the series on the Manga Plus app. I used to read it on the Shonen Jump Viz app. And so I'd read the first volume when it first came out. Like the official volume dropped, like I think in 2020 or 2021. I can't remember when this first volume dropped, but that was like the first. I picked it up, I pre-ordered it, and it dropped in like October, and I read it and ended up getting the app because I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait to see what happened in volume 2, so I ended up getting the app and I ended up just reading the whole thing. And I think I caught up to where like it was releasing weekly or whatever, so I would read it every month or however long. I forgot how often it used to come out, but every time a chapter dropped at that point in time, like I would just be there reading it. And ever since then, I've been reading it as it drops, so I'm like caught up essentially with Chainsaw Man. And yeah, it's one of my favorite series. And then right there we got Buddy Stories. Oh, that's backwards because this is a collection of stories that are like, I guess, written. It's not really like, there's really not like much manga drawing stuff going on. And then we got 17 through 21. I'm actually gonna have to move my setup over here to show you some of this other stuff, to show you some of this other manga. Alright, so yeah, we got 17 through 21. These are stories that he wrote from when he was 17 through 21, obviously. And then 22 through 26, and when he was 26 is when he wrote Fire Punch, and a bunch of like the dudes that went on to do like their own thing, like Yuji Kaku and Yuki Nobutatsu had worked on Fire Punch with Tatsuki Fujimoto, so that's pretty cool. And then we got Look Back, which got made into a film that I saw recently. Super heartbreaking. It's a great story. I would love nothing more than to see Goodbye Eri get the film treatment. Like, I can see that just like utterly destroying some people. I did a video about this one. I think I talked about Look Back in a video as well. And then we got some Inyo Asano, since we're on the topic of heartbreak. We got Downfall by Inyo Asano, and then I got Solanin right here as well by Inyo Asano. Alright, so we got right here book 3 of Villain Saga by Makoto Yukimura. So I have the first 3 volumes of it. I haven't picked up volume 4 yet. And then here is At the Mountains of Madness, which is one of the most gorgeous hardcovers that I own, I think. Love the paper. As you can see there, the silver on that is absolutely gorgeous, dude. I think this is one of the most beautiful things that I own. Right next to that, we got High School of the Dead. These are the color editions of High School of the Dead. These are the color editions of High School of the Dead. These are absolutely gorgeous. I have the first 2 of them. This is a series that like I had seen the anime a lifetime ago because I'm a millennial, and I was around when the series was coming out. And right there we got Taiyo Matsumoto, who also did Tokyo These Days. And then right here we got Ghost in the Shell. This is a complete series, a complete collection of the initial Ghost in the Shell stories, if I'm not mistaken. And then right here we got Niji Gahara Hologram right there by Inyo Asano. And then we got Blam right here by Tsutomu Nihei. This is a classic series. All the way, the whole set of Blam. And then I got just randomly 2 volumes of Attack on Titan Colossal Edition. Every time I do a tour video, I kind of like, bring up the reason that I just randomly have two of these editions, of these Colossal Editions. And the reason is that like I started reading it on scan sites, no surprise there, and I ended up, kind of wanting to continue from where I was reading it on the scan sites. So I picked up 3, and then I ended up picking up 4, and I read both of these. And then I started picking up the paperbacks as they were dropping, up to like 30 something if I'm not mistaken, or 29 I think is where I got up to. And then I just started buying the single issues as they would drop, like monthly or whatever, because I think it was like a monthly series. I would start picking it up like that. So I ended up reading the final part of it, the conclusion of Attack on Titan, through those chapter drops and whatever that would like monthly chapter drops. So yeah, that was pretty brutal, man. Like trying to keep up with that series and having to deal with those monthly chapter drops was pretty brutal. And then right here we got a continuation of Goodnight Boon Boon. So you can see Boon Boon's beak right there from Goodnight Boon Boon. And then we got Dead Dead Demons, which is a great series. This has an anime. I'm missing, I think, volume... No, I'm not. Which one? Yeah, I'm missing volume 5. Okay. So I'm missing volume 5 from there because that's what I got up to. I haven't read volume 5 yet. But this is a solid series. There's an anime out for it that I haven't watched. I'm not going to watch it until I guess, finish reading the manga. And I have the whole set right here. The volume 12 is the final one. And then randomly got this... Welcome Back, Alice, Volume 7 here. I didn't put it away for whatever reason. I'll have to make sure that gets put away. And then right next to that we have The Flowers of Evil, the complete series, Volumes 1 through 4 of The Flowers of Evil. And my lighting just decided to commit seppuku. Alright, so next to that we got Blood on the Tracks. And this I got up to 10. I've read the first 3 volumes of it. I haven't read volume 4. As you can see, volume 4 is missing from right here because it is on my TBR shelf. Alright, and down here we've got volume 10. And then next to that, we've got Inside Mari. I think this is the complete set of Inside Mari. Yeah, that's a complete set of Inside Mari, I think. This volume right here, volume 9, is the final volume of Inside Mari. And then I got the 2 volumes of Double Ecstasy. Yeah, there's only 2 volumes of it, but I have both volumes of Double Ecstasy. And then I have Happiness right here. This is a phenomenal series. I got the whole set of Happiness. I'm missing volume 4 because that's the one that I am reading. And then up to 10, so that's the whole set. Then I got Avant-Garde Yumeko, which I read. Wasn't a huge fan of it. It's a girl who likes to draw penises. Wasn't a huge fan of it. And then we got Shino Can't Say Her Name. I haven't read this one yet. And then we got Sweets Poolside, which I wasn't personally like huge fan of. Regardless, I love Shuzo Oshimi, man. I think Shuzo Oshimi is a phenomenal creator. And then we got Welcome Back Alice, volumes 1 through 6 there, and then obviously we got 7 up here. That should be down there. All right, so we're gonna slide Welcome Back Alice, volume 7 back into its home, or at least put it into its home, and that's the complete set of Welcome Back Alice. And with that, we conclude the E-shelf. So let's continue it. We're, I'd say, almost halfway there. I hope that you've enjoyed this tour so far. I got a bunch more manga to show you all. And yeah, I hope that you are enjoying this with me. Alright, so now we're moving on to the F shelf. And this is what we got here on top of the elf shelf. The F shelf, not the elf shelf, the F shelf. We got Homunculus, the complete set of Homunculus. So right there, we got the first volume. I did a video about Homunculus a while ago, I think last year. Really enjoyed the series. I need to continue it so I can knock out an even bigger video about Homunculus, talking about the whole thing. I think that would be really cool. And then right next to that, we've got 20th Century Boys volumes 2 through 10, and that doesn't complete the series. Nope. There we go. Yeah, 11, and then we got this one right here, which kind of is like, I think it's supposed to summarize the series or something, if I'm not mistaken. I think somebody told me something like that. Like they tried to summarize it in a separate, I don't know, like final volume, 21st Century Boys. And yeah, I started reading 20th Century Boys. As you can see, volume 1 is missing because it is over on my TBR shelf. Next to 20th Century Boys, we've got Monster. So we got pretty much the whole set of Monster, volumes 1 through 9 over here on the end of Monster. And what I like about these volumes is if you piece them together, if you put them all together like just flat, they make like a series of portraits, which is pretty cool. I think it's pretty rad. And then right there we got a Gantz O poster. And then right here we've got, which is the Osaka arc, which is I think my favorite arc in Gantz. And then right next to that we got Pluto. I'm a huge fan of Pluto. I haven't seen the anime for Pluto. I haven't seen the anime for Monster either, but once I finish 20th Century Boys, I want to do a video about Monster. So yeah, I'm probably going to end up doing either like a 2-parter video for 20th Century Boys or like one giant video, but I haven't really fully decided yet how that's going to take place. And then yeah, Pluto, all of these by Naoki Urasawa, who is a phenomenal creator. And then next to that we got Asadora, and that's pretty much everything that I have by him. Like I don't have Master Keaton, I don't have Sneeze or whatever that other one was called that he did. And then down here we got more Asadora. We got volumes 4 and 5. So the reason I have this gap right here is that I'm going to be putting some hardcovers there. As you see, I have like the through line of my hardcovers going down the line, and just like oversized paperbacks and whatnot. And then I'm going to start putting them right here, just kind of like filling it down the line. And then we got Asadora. And then by the late great Akira Toriyama, we got Sandland. Got got this right here, Sandland. And then right next to that, we've got Manga Theater, which I started to read for a video and then haven't finished it. And then we got Dragon Ball right next to that. into Dragon Ball Z. So there's Dragon Ball. Sorry, these are all falling over. I did not mean for that to happen. That's because I have nothing to prop them up right now. But yeah, there's Dragon Ball Z by Akira Toriyama. I grew up with Dragon Ball and then, got into Dragon Ball Z. And this was all in the 90s. Like, I used to watch Dragon Ball when I was like 5, 6, and then I started watching Dragon Ball Z when I got a little bit older, like 7, 8. I started watching like Dragon Ball Z. But I have the whole this big collection of both series of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. And then right next to that, we got a series that I am a gigantic fan of, and that is Black Lagoon. I got Black Lagoon all the way through volume 13 on the end here. It's just arrived. It's just, I think, just released too. Like, volume 13 literally just released not that long ago. I think it was on hiatus for a while, and we just got the 13th volume of it. And then down here, we just randomly have 2 volumes of Shaman King. I'll be honest, I didn't realize I had these. I didn't even know I had these. That's wild. These should be with the other ones. I have no idea why these ended up over here. I honestly thought they only had the first 3 volumes. And these are kind of buried behind some box sets that I own. Alright, and then down here we've got Monster Girl Wrestling. I have volumes, 1, 2, 3, and 4 of Monster Girl Wrestling. And then we got a series that I'm a huge fan of. This is Velveteen Mandala, which is one of the most disgusting things that I've ever read. This series is absolutely bananas. And then right next to that, we got the complete set of I'm the Hero, but I'm also the Demon Lord or whatever. That series is also super adult. And if you want to talk about a series that is extremely adult, that's going to be Witches of Adamas. This series right here is extremely, extremely adult. It's to the point that I kind of wonder how in the world it's not hentai. And then right next to that, we got the first volume of number 5. I think the series is completed in 4 or 5 volumes. That's also by Taiyo Matsumoto, who I talked about previously on this video. And then Your Pearl Descent Record, volumes 1 and 2. There's a volume 3 that's coming out soon. I don't think I have it pre-ordered. And then we got I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, one that I've been putting off reading because I don't want to have my heart broken yet. And then we got The Abandoned, which is an American manga. And right next to that, I talked about this previously. Alright, so I talked about these Attack on Titan volumes previously. And so this is where I started collecting it, after the 4th Omni Colossal Edition. I started to read these paperbacks, and I got up to 26. And then after 26, I just started reading it, on reading the single issues that would drop, I think monthly. So it was monthly drops of the single issues, and then we got Triage X at the end. I only have, I think, 2 volumes of Triage X. Yeah, I have 1 and 3. This is an extremely difficult series to come by. Triage X. And then at the end, we got a German volume 4 of Triage X. For whatever reason, I thought it was a Spanish, and ended up being, I didn't realize it was German. So yeah, I just randomly have a 4th volume in German of Triage X. So yeah, let's move on to the next shelf. Alright, so now we are on to the G shelf, and right here at the beginning of the G shelf, we've got Gaiji. So we got Gaiji volumes 1 and 2. I read the first volume of Gaiji, and then volume 3 right here. Sorry, I said volumes 1 and 2, but it's volume 3. Volume 2 is on my TBR shelf. And then same with Alice in Borderland. Volume 2 of the series is on my TBR shelf. So I actually talked about both Alice in Borderland and Gaiji for an I've been reading Death Game manga video. And then we got Uncle from Another World. I actually talked about this in an isekai video that I did as well. So volume 2 is missing because it's over on my TBR shelf. And I have the first 6 volumes of this series. I watched the anime as well and loved the anime for Uncle from Another World. It's super hilarious. Seeing it animated makes it even funnier. Soul Eater volumes 1 and 2. I haven't picked up any more of the series. I do kind of want to, but I haven't really gotten around to it. It's something that I used to consume a lot when I was a teenager. I used to watch the anime and loved the anime. Decided I wanted to pick up the manga to show some support, and I also like the series, this creator's other series, which is Fire Force. And I talked about Fire Force earlier in this video. And then right here, this is one of my favorite creators at the moment. This is Shinichi Sakamoto. And I have another series by Shinichi Sakamoto, which is Innocent. I have that on my other shelf, on my final shelf, I think. And then right next to that, we've got Drifting Classroom by Kazuo Umez, the legend who's recently passed away, unfortunately. Passed away last year. And I have the whole complete set of Drifting Classroom right here. I do want to start doing this year because I want to read all of his works that are available in English for like a big video that I want to do about Kazuo Umez. And then right next to that, we've got Orochi volumes 1 and 2 there, and then we got 3 and 4 there. So this is another classic series by this phenomenal creator. And then right next to that, we got the 2 volumes of Cat-Eyed Boy. I did a video about Cat-Eyed Boy a while ago, I think in 2023. I did a video about Cat-Eyed Boy. Really like that series a lot. And then right here we got the first 4 volumes. I'm sorry, right here we have the first 3 volumes of My Name is Shingo, also by Kazuo Umez. And then right next to that, we got a collection of stories that Junji Ito did an intro for, and he also did the cover art for it. You know, he said did the cover art for this thing, but it's not. He doesn't have any stories in it. And then this is a novel that this is Stitches. This is a novel that Junji Ito did some illustrations for. But he didn't write it. Somebody else wrote the novel. I haven't started it yet, but I do want to get into it at some point. And then we got Zombie Makeout Club. I'm not sure which way to look at this one. There we go, right there. Zombie Makeout Club Volume 1. I have Volume 2 on my TBR shelf. Super nonsensical story. It's a lot of fun though. I like it quite a bit. And then after that, we got Chojin X. I got the 5 volume. I have 5 volumes of Chojin X. Volume 2 is missing because it is on my TBR shelf. And then after that, we've got Heavenly Delusion, volumes 1 through 7. And as you can see right here, volume 4 is missing. And yeah, I love the series. I talked about Heavenly Delusion in a video. I think it might have been either a currently reading or a hey, have you read video. But this 7th volume literally just dropped, I think, not that long ago, like last month or something. And then we got Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer, volumes 2, 3, and 4, up to 4. I have volume 1 on the TBR shelf. I'm in the middle of it and have been in the middle of it for a while, unfortunately. And then next to that, we got Frankenfran. This was a re-release, I think. This is a reprint, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was a reprint. So this got reprinted. This is out of print. And same with Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer. That was out of print as well. I ended up picking these up. I've got volume 1 of Frankenfran on the TBR shelf, and these are both completed right here. These are both complete series. And then we got Smoke and Parade. This is the first volume of Smoke and Parade right there. The whole set of Smoke and Parade. Volume 2 is missing because it is on the TBR shelf. Up to volume 10 of Smoke and Parade. And then right next to that, we got Soloist in a Cage. The first 2 volumes. Volume 3 is on the TBR shelf. I love this series. I talked about Soloist in a Cage in a video. I'm also currently reading Astro Baby, which is the newest series by this creator, Shiro Moriya. It is a phenomenal series. Both of them are really solid. Definitely recommend checking out both of them. I've talked about both in videos. And then we got Please Go Home, Miss Akutsu. This series is a lot of fun. Super raunchy, but not like over the top. There is like a little raunchiness, but as far as I've read, I haven't seen any like nudity or anything. It's just like a fun series, and volume 3 is missing because it is on my TBR shelf. I think it's an ongoing series. I'm not sure what it's up to at the moment. And then we got My Dress Up Darling right here. This is a fun series. I ended up picking up the first 6 volumes of it. Volume 2 is missing because it's on the TBR shelf. I talked about this in a video as well at one point. I think it was a rom-com video. And then on the end here of this shelf, we have Succubus and Hitman. We got the first 4 volumes of Succubus and Hitman. I'm missing volume 2 is on the TBR shelf. I got volume 5 there for Succubus and Hitman. So we'll go down to the bottom level. Actually, no, I'm sorry, not quite the bottom level yet, but we're getting there. All right, so right here we've got Yakuza Reincarnation. We got volumes 1, 3, 4, and 5 of Yakuza Reincarnation. Volume 2 is on the TBR shelf, and then we got Candy and Cigarettes Volume 2. Volume 1 is on TBR shelf. Right there for Candy and Cigarettes. And then we got Yakuza Fiance Volume 2. Volume 1's on the TBR shelf. We got Orient, the first 3 volumes of Orient there. And then next to that, we got Plus Size Elf. This is a super fun series. I had a blast with that first volume. I have the second volume on my TBR shelf. And then right next to that, we got Level 1 Demon Lord and One Room Hero. This series is super irreverent. I definitely recommend checking it out if you like just super nonsensical. I guess, I don't even know if I want to call it an isekai, because I don't know how much of an isekai it actually is. But I think it is kind of an isekai. It's like Demon Lord and Hero and whatnot. And this is like way after the Demon Lords won the war. Or the hero won the war, and now the hero's become like a schlub. You know, like that's pretty much what he's become right there. And then the Demon Lord gets reincarnated as like a chibi sort of a character. It's super random, dude, but it's a lot of fun. Disillusioned Heroes. This reminds me of like Konosuba. I actually like the series quite a bit. I think I have Volume 2 on the TBR shelf. I think I have Volume 2, just in general. I think that's all I have so far of it. And then right here we have I Am a Hero. I only have the first volume of the series because I couldn't get into I Am a Hero, so I never picked up any more of it. And now it's out of print, so it's even harder to pick up. So I don't know if I regret not picking up any more of it or not, because like I just couldn't finish it. I couldn't even get through this first volume. Which is kind of a shame, because I actually really like this creator's other series, Under Ninja, and I have that on the other shelf, and I showed that to you earlier in the video. And then next to that, we've got Seventh Garden. This one by Mitsu Izumi. I had a ton of fun with this. I read this on the app, and I read the whole thing on the app, and ended up picking it up. Though I ended up picking up these physicals to support it, because I really enjoyed it that much. Unfortunately, it's on hiatus, and it's like on perpetual hiatus to the point where like it's probably just never going to come back, which is super heartbreaking to me, because I had a lot of fun with it. And then this is a gift from my friend Justin. This is Barefoot Gen. Looking at it the wrong way. Let's pick it up on this side. Yeah, so that's Barefoot Gen. Pretty much a story about war. It's unfortunate the consequences of war and the way that it affects, innocent people that, had nothing to do with it in the first place. And then we got this right here. Was this the I.10 Deities Only No Peace or whatever? This right here is from my friend Justin as well. And then we got Semelparus. We got the first volume of Semelparus. I don't think I've ever picked up any more of that series. And then right here we've got Rise of the Outlaw Tamer and his S-Rank Cat Girl. As you can see some boxes in the background. Those are for shipping. I ship manga and whatnot to different places. I sell manga and I use those boxes to ship it out. And then right here we got The Great Yokai War, Volume 1. That's the only volume I have of that series. I don't know if I'll ever pick up any more of it or not. Alright, so down here on the base level, we have To Your Eternity. This is a series that I absolutely loved. I've read the first 7 volumes of it. I never read Volume 8, which is like a whole new sort of arc. It's like way into the future. But I loved this series, dude. I read the first part of it, the first 7 volumes of it. I talked about it in a video. I think I did a Why You Should Read for To Your Eternity. But God, it's such a beautiful series, dude. Totally worth checking out. I haven't read any more of it though, unfortunately, so like I don't know what happens volume 8 and onward, but I totally loved it. And then right here, this is Mages of the Library. This is the same creator, Mitsu Izumi, who did Seventh Garden, and this is her new series after Seventh Garden. I don't know if it's ongoing or not, or if it's over, but I picked it up because I wanted to support. I love her artwork, and so I wanted to see what else she's got going on. And then next to that, we got Medaka Kuriowa is impervious to my charms, and next to that, we got Raw Hero. All right, so Raw Hero, dude, is like one of the most raunchy things you could ever read, and given that it's Akira Hiramoto, I feel like you already know what you're going to get yourself into if you know Prison School. I'm pretty sure you already know it's going to be one of the wildest things you've ever read. And he's doing another one too called Futari Switch that isn't available in English yet, as far as I know, but hopefully one day it does get an English release. And this is a story about a trans man as is stripped to the flesh. I really want to read this. I still haven't gotten to it yet. But yeah, it's pretty much the story of a trans man, and I think his transition to becoming a man. And then next to that, we got Satoshi Kon's Opus. I'm a fan of Satoshi Kon. Like, I love Perfect Blue. And next to that, we got Free Ren, Volume 2 of Free Ren. And then next to that, on the end here, we got 3 volumes of Love's in Sight. Really like the series a lot. On the end, we got this series right here. My instant death ability is so overpowered, no one in this other world stands a chance against me. That is the most light novel title ever, and that is a light novel that got translated into a manga. So yeah, that is the end of this shelf right here, and we'll move on to the next one. Alright, so now we are on to my H shelf. So pretty much the majority of this H shelf is TBR manga. And I remember when I talked about this shelf in my other video, I mentioned that it was kind of small, but I wouldn't have been surprised if it like became a lot bigger than it was, and it ended up becoming absolutely gigantic. So even though I talked about a bunch of these series already, like this isn't going to feel like a complete tour video to me until like I just kind of go down the line again and kind of just go over everything pretty briefly. I'll try to keep it short of what's in my H shelf, my TBR shelf. Alright, so let's kind of go through these. I haven't talked about Claymore at all, but I got the first volume of Claymore. I really want to start this year. Same with Tokyo Ghoul. I'm really hoping to, start reading these this year. I know I said that like I was going to do it last year. Every time I say I'm going to do a thing, I end up putting it off. But it's just because like I keep, finding things that I want to talk about. New stuff just keeps coming out, and like I want to be on top of new releases, so it ends up setting me back and setting me back and setting me back, and then before I know it, like a whole year's out the window. Soloist in a Cage Volume 3, can't wait to read that one. Not got a video about it. Breaker 2, we got Kaiju number 8 Volume 4, Ayashimon Volume 3, Marriage Toxin Volume 1. I haven't talked about Marriage Toxin at all, but yeah, there's Volume 1 of Marriage Toxin. Really want to read that for a video. Adol, I talked about Adol. I don't know if I talked about it in this video yet or not, but I talked about this in a video. And then we got Jagan Volume 4. This is a Spanish volume that is on my Spanish shelf, which we'll be getting to next. We got My Dress Up Darling 2. We got The Outlaw Tamer 1-2, which is about Amos 3. Yeah, and we got Hyperinflation. This is on my Spanish shelf. This is a Spanish manga. No English release, unfortunately. This is a great series as well, called Name of the Night. I have the first volume somewhere else. And then we got Magie Lumiere, the first volume of this. I really want to read this. I think it's got an anime. A lot of this stuff now has anime, which is pretty cool, man. I'm like super excited about that. It's always rad to see, like creators get their series turned into anime. Slasher Maidens Volume 2. We got okay, so I did have it. I knew I said I had Disillusioned Adventurers Will Save the World Volume 2. I said I thought I'd had it on the TBR shelf, and there it is. And then we got Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer, Volume 1, right there. You can see my bookmark. It said I had a bookmark in the thing. Black Lagoon, Volume 2. Love Black Lagoon. And then right next to Black Lagoon, we got Smoking Parade, Volume 2. We got Blade of the Moon Princess, Volume 2. We got Heart Gear, Volume 3. I don't think I've talked about Heart Gear in this video, but I love this series. The artwork for it is gorgeous. It's so beautifully done, and I think it's only going to be like 5 volumes, so it's definitely worth checking out. It's the same creator that did Black Torch. And then we got Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. I got 2 volumes of this series because my friend Justin gifted me 2 volumes of it. So these are both gifts from my friend Justin. And then we got Shadow over Innsmouth, which I'm not going to read until I read the story by H.P. Lovecraft, and then I'm going to read the Watanabe one. That's the way that I did Mountains of Madness. And then we got Blood on the Tracks Volume 4, we got Dead Man Wonderland Volume 2, we got PTSD Radio Volume 2, we got Summertime Rendering 6. I love Summertime Rendering. That's the final volume of Summertime Rendering right there. We got Please Go Home Miss Akutsu Volume 3 there. And then right here we got, these are by mangaka that I personally love. She used to do, or they, I'm not really sure the pronouns there, but let's just say Mako Vice used to do like artwork, and then at some point in time Mako Vice started to do like manga, and this is the first manga that Mako Vice dropped, which is Udon. This is supposed to be like a misprint or something, but I really don't see where it was misprinted. I absolutely love it. I can't show you the inside because there's a lot of like there's a lot of violence, and I don't want to show you that. And then right next to that we got Sashimi. This is signed by Mako Vice. You can see right there. There's their signature. There's the signature by Mako Vice, and then yeah, this is such exquisite work. And then I have Red Rice. The Mako Vice did a Kickstarter, I think it was, or I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it was a Kickstarter for Red Rice. So I have like an Omni that comes, I think, with these 2 volumes and Red Rice together. So it'll be rad to get that in the mail at some point in time. Mako Vice keeps providing, updates about what's going on with it from the Kickstarter. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. And then right next to that we got more level 1 Demon Lord, and then we got Heavenly Delusion Volume 4. We got Plus Size Elf Volume 2, Akane Banashi Volume 2. I have Volume 1 on the same shelf, and this is a great series. That's like about this art style called Rokugo or something like that. And then we got Mysterious Girlfriend X. We got Volume 2 of Medaka Kuriowa is Impervious to My Charms, and then we got Volume 2 of my Instant Death ability. And then we got Uncle from Another World Volume 2. We got Summer Ghost. This is one that I've been wanting to read. As you can see, I have a bookmark there. I don't know when the hell I'm going to read this thing. There's like so much stuff that like I keep saying I'm going to read, and then obviously, like I said, I something new comes out and I'm like, oh, I got to talk about this in a video before it gets too old. And then we got Under Ninja Volume 2. We got I'm the Hero and the Demon Lord. We got Volume 2, and then we got Kowloon Generic Romance Volume 2. We got Dead Demons Volume 5. We got Happiness Volume 4, Inside Mari Volume 2. We got Mieruko-chan. This is stories, I think. Yeah, this is stories that take place in the Mieruko-chan world. These are by other mangaka, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And then we got Candy and Cigarettes Volume 1. We got Yokohama Station SF. This has been on my shelf for literally a year. I think this is on my shelf when I did my last tour video. So yeah, that's not good. That's been there forever. I've been wanting to read this one too. This one looks super adorable. I picked this up for like $8 from Goodwill. And then we got Please Put Them On. I've been wanting to check the series out forever, and I still haven't read it. I picked that up last year. I still haven't read it. So yeah, I suck. Then we got Honey Trap Shared House. I still need to read that first volume. We got The Climber in Spanish. I got The Climber in English pre-ordered, which is going to be like the Omnis, like 2-in-1 volumes, I think. But I have the first 2 volumes of The Climber. I have Volume 2 somewhere else. I got Dungeon People. This series is like super adorable. I started watching the anime, but didn't quite get too far into it. And then we got The Summer Hikaru Died. Loved the first volume of this series. This is a pretty solid manga, definitely worth checking out. Queer sort of story. And then this is the other way. This is Devil's Candy. I have the rest of it. It's available so far of Devil's Candy on my other shelf. There's volume 2 of it. We got Blood Blade. I'm going to read this at some point in time. I don't know if I'm going to read it for a video or just like for like I might read it for like a hey, have you read or something. And then I have an Omni of Do You Like Big Girls. This is terrible. I got like that far into it, and hold on, there we go. I got that far into it and was like, I don't know how badly I want to continue this, and I put off reading it. I put off buying it because like it's one of those series that like it just looked terrible to me. And then like when I saw that there was an Omni for it, I was like, you know what? Given that it's in an Omni, I'll check it out now. And yeah, it's terrible. So I don't know if I'm going to continue it or not. And then we got Call of the Cthulhu. This is something that I have not read, but I'm super excited to get into it. Literally just came out not that long ago. I want to read that after I, read the original story because I want to talk about them for a video. And then we got Fake Rebellion Volume 1. We got Frank and Fran Volume 1 right there as well. And then down here we got One Piece, the first Omni of One Piece. And I'm almost halfway through it. I need to continue it. And then we got Love's in Sight Volume 2. This is from a recent trip my sister took to Sweden, and she brought me back this postcard of a ship they have in this history museum. Just the size and scope of it looks really wild. So this came with my first volume copy of Sekisei Inko. This is by Ken Wakui, and he did these for Barcelona since Sekisei Inko isn't yet in English. Hopefully at one point in time it ends up getting an English release, and maybe even Desert Eagle or whatever it's called. I think that series is called, also by Ken Wakui. Hopefully one day we get that in the physical. And then next to that we got Chain Soldier Volume 6. We got Hideout. I love Masasumi Kakizaki. I think that dude is a killer mangaka. Why is this? Is this backwards? I think it is backwards. I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. I put this in there backwards. But yeah, Hideout by Masasumi Kakizaki. Absolutely phenomenal mangaka. He looks like Robert. He looks like the Japanese Robert Rodriguez, and he totally does. If you look up both of those dudes, they look so much alike. It's wild. And then we got the first volume of Chobits right here by Clamp. The Clamp was a collective that did manga together. Here, let me see if I can't slide this in there. Might even still be backwards, but I'm not even sure. So yeah, we got Chobits right there. Remember the anime for Chobits? I never watched it, but I did want to. And then we got Insomniacs After School Volume 2. I love that series. And then we got Nina the Starry Bride Volume 2. We got Raw Hero Volume 5. We got The God of High School Volume 2. Hell's Paradise Volume 7. Akko and Bambi. I was going to read this for a video, and then for whatever reason, I just never read it for that video. I think something else came out that I wanted to read way more. I ended up reading that instead for that video. And then Die Dark Volume 7. I haven't started this yet, but I'm going to possibly be doing a Let's Review for it. This is a great series as well, Sakura Saku. I think that's a solid manga. We got Robotics Notes. This is the same dude who wrote Steins Gate. So this is Robotics Notes, and I'm I say halfway through it. I had a bookmark in there. Oh, yep, there it is. It's falling all the way in, but it's right there. Yeah, so I wanted to talk about Robotics Notes for a video, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not. We got Sawada and the House of Monsters, Volume 2. I think I have Volumes 1 through 3 of it. Gacha Yakuta, Volume 3. I've talked about Volume 1 in a video. And then we got Shigo Atera, whatever. Volume 2 right here. Great series. We got Volume 4 of Origin. I love Origin, one of my favorite series ever. Illustrated Guide to Monster Girls Volume 2. I think this is a complete set in 4 volumes. And then we got Sakamoto Days Volume 3. We got Boys Abyss Volume 6. Yeah, Volume 6. And then we got Blade of the Celestial Shadows Volume 2. We got River's Edge. I need to read this as well. I've been wanting to read this one. It looks really poetic. Alright, so then we got Love and Hell. This is the complete omnibus first part of Love and Hell. I think there's another Love and Hell as well, a sequel series Love and Hell. And then we got Volume 3 of Call of the Name of the Night. We got Grace Rosa Volume 1 right there. We got Succubus and Hitman Volume 2. We got Yakuza Fiance Volume 1. We got the second volume of this series right here, Zombie Makeout Club. I haven't started it yet, but I do want to. I really enjoyed the first part of it quite a bit. Alright, so then we got DRCL right here, Volume 1 for DRCL. And we got Vampire. We got Vampire Michael Jackson. I cannot slide this back in there for whatever reason. It won't slide back in, so I'm probably just going to leave it out. I'll just leave it out for now since it won't let me slide it back in. And then right next to that we got And Roll Back. This is an interesting series. I think this dude's sister pulls her own plug, and then he goes to figure out what happened. I think that's what that series is about. This one I haven't started yet either. I've been wanting to read these. So these are all by this publisher, Alien Books. I think previously had been involved in comics, and then they started trying their hand at manga. And for the series that they released were these right here, Enroll Back, Momo, Legendary Warrior, Kerberos, In the Silver Rain, and they also did right here, Fake Rebellion. They also did Fake Rebellion. Yeah, Alien Books. So that was also them. And then right next to those we have Sekide. I used to watch the anime for this. I watched the whole first 2 seasons of the anime. You cannot find the anime anywhere. You can't even find these volumes anywhere. I still need volumes 5 and 6, I think, for Sekide, or Sekide. I can't find it anywhere, and can't find those 2 volumes anywhere. And then we got Choujin X2. We got Yomotsu Hegui Volume 2. There are 3 total volumes of Yomotsu Hegui. Then we got Snowball Earth Volume 2. We got Ayakashi Triangle Volume 2. We got My Poison Princess is Still Cute Volume 2. I still need to pick up Volume 3 of that series. We got Oshinoko Volume 4. I See Your Face Turned Away. I'm a fan of not really quite josei. I think this might still be shoujo, or I don't know. It's somewhere along there. And then we got Strategic Lovers. This is something that I forgot that I ordered. Ended up being shipped to me. I don't know. I may just open it at some point in time. And then we got Smoking Behind the Supermarket with You, Volume 3. We got Her Frankenstein. So there's some legendary stuff with this creator. Supposedly he'd burned a bunch of his manuscripts or something at one point in time purposefully, so nobody would read them. I don't know if that was the situation there, but I think that's what happened. And then we got Shimazaki in the Land of Peace. This one intrigued me. Definitely excited to peep this one at some point in time. And then we got Frieren Volume 1 right here. I have Volume 2 on the other shelf. And then we got Kingdom of Quartz Volume 2. I think I talked about Kingdom of Quartz already, or maybe I haven't. But yeah, there's Volume 2, and this is such a beautiful looking series, dude. I just talked about it in my last video that I dropped. And then Volume 3 of Full Night. This is probably my favorite manga of 2024. And then we got Versus Volume 1. I still haven't finished it from my video. I think that's the last one I got to finish from that video to be caught up on everything from there. And then we got Witch Atelier Volume 1. I think I have Volume 2 somewhere else. And then we got Nakamura, The Uninvited Gyaru. I love these sorts of annoyance girl series. I don't know what to call them. The girls that are annoying, that bother this nerdy dude. I don't know why I like them so much. I like the other one too. Please Go Home Misakutsu. And then we got Tomahawk Angel. This is by a creator that is, I forgot where he's from. Yeah, I can't remember where he's from, but he's not Japanese, and he's done 2 volumes of this. I have Volume 1 somewhere. I have Volume 2 somewhere else. And then Ibitsu. I picked Ibitsu up in my recent Barnes & Noble video that I did. I picked up Ibitsu. So I finally have that series. I've known about it for years, for literal years, and never picked it up. And then we got The Horizon Volume 2. It's backwards. And then we got 20th Century Boys Volume 1 right there on the end. I started reading it. As you can see, I have my bookmark in there. I may kind of go back and just start it back over because I need to write, my thoughts on it as I go for my upcoming video. All right, so now we are to the bottom of this TBR shelf. We got High Rise Invasion Volume 2. We got Alice in Borderland Volume 2. Kaiji Volume 2. We got Doubt Volume 1. I was not a huge fan of Doubt. I don't know if I'm ever going to continue the series. I got my bookmark somewhere in there. I don't even know where it is. But there's a bookmark in there. Wasn't a huge fan of Doubt. And then we got Kurosagi Corpse Delivery Service Volume 2. We got Souls at Work Volume 1. I think I have both sets of this because it's only two volumes, I think, if I'm not mistaken, and it completes all of Souls at Work. And then we got Fairy Tail Volume 1 right here, these Omni editions. And then we got, I don't know if I can show you that. I don't know if I can show you that cover. I mean, you can look it up yourself if you really want to see it. But we got Nanato Kaoru right there, and then we got Akane Banashi right here. This is a great series. Definitely a subversion of the shonen trope. And then we got Dead Man Wonderland, which is a series that I'm a huge fan of. I used to watch the anime when I was in my early 20s and whatnot. Huge fan of the anime. And yeah, that's pretty much the complete set of Dead Man Wonderland right there. So yeah, that concludes this shelf. So we got 2 more to go. I hope that you are enjoying yourselves as much as I am. Alright, so this shelf right here is kind of like the international manga shelf. And so right here we got this is Fuan Motane. This is Japanese. And then these are a gift from a friend of mine who went to Japan. I got the first 3 volumes right here of a Junji Ito collection. And then right next to that we got Sun Can Rock. So this is the first 4 volumes of Sun Can Rock. That's gonna be kind of tough to show those back in there. And then we got Manhole volumes 1 and 2. That's the complete series of Manhole right there. And then right next to that we got El Club del Suicidio, which is Suicide Club by Furuya. I don't know if this is ever gonna get an English translation. Usamaru Furuya. And then next to that we got Jagan. Pretty much the whole set of Jagan. This is from Norma Editorial. This is a Spanish release. And this right here is a phenomenal series. It's such amazing artwork. And then next to that we got Sekisei Inko, which I had mentioned previously. And that's completed in 2 of these editions right here. 2 of these tall editions. Complete Sekisei Inko. And then next to that we have The Climber, Volume 2 of The Climber. And then we got Hyperinflation, Volumes 1 through 4. Volume 2 is missing because it's on the TBR shelf. There's 2 more volumes of it that I need. And I'm not sure how many volumes this series is completed in. But next to that we got GTO. This is a classic series. There's 3 editions of it, I'm sorry. I have 3 volumes of it in Spanish. And then next to that we got Sanda. Sanda's getting an anime. This is getting an anime soon. This is a wild series. This is by Faru Itagaki, who also does Beastars and Beast Complex. And then next to that we got Kingdom. I got the first 3 volumes of Kingdom. And then next to that we got almost all of Iki Tausen. I'm missing volume 9. Was it 8 or 9? I think 8. So yeah, I'm missing volume 8 of Iki Tausen, and then that would complete all of Iki Tausen. I was talking to the Spanish seller that I get most of my Spanish manga from. They're based out of Spain, and I was talking to them, and they don't have volume 8 yet. It's not available in Spain yet. Yeah, so once they get their copies of Iki Tausen volume 8, I will be able to pick it up from them. And then we got Green Bloods. This is from Mexico. I got this from a Mexican seller. And I buy a lot of like Spanish manga and whatnot from various sellers on eBay. And then we got Chainsaw Man Volume 12 in Spanish. This was before Volume 12 dropped in English, just because I wanted to own it. I wanted to own it as soon as possible. And then we got Mushihime. It's like Insect Princess or something. And then we got X Gene right here. This was mentioned to me by one of my subs. And I was like, all right, bet. And I went out and got my hands on it. The complete set in Spanish. I think it's like 3 volumes. And then we got the Mujer de la Espía right here. The Spy's Wife, or Spy no Tsuma in Japanese. And then next to that we got Valhallion, the Black Iron. I've been wanting to pick this up for a while. I read the first volume almost immediately after picking it up. And then I have the first 3 volumes of this series. I think it's like a 6-volume set altogether. Alright, down here we got continued Valhallion Volume 3. We got Violence Action Volumes 1 through 4. And so right there we got Volume 1 of Violence Action. I have the first 4 volumes of the series. And then we got Shigehime, which looks just absolutely insane. So I had to pick it up. This is a Mexican volume of the series. I have the complete set. I'm sorry, I have the complete set of this right here in 5 volumes. And then I got Colorless right there. Volumes 1 through 3 of Colorless right there. We got Yomotsu Hegui Volume 1. And then we got Batman, Justice, Buster. Yeah, I got the first 2 volumes of that. I talked about this in my haul video. That was the the Barnes & Noble haul video. And then I also also own all of Black Torch right here. This is, I said before, you know, this is the same creator who did Heart Gear. And so these are 2 series he's done. Both of them completed in 5 volumes. Only Heart Gear, volume 5 of Heart Gear isn't out yet. I don't know when it's going to be out. And then right here we got volume 1 of Heart Gear up to volume 4. And then next to that we got Smoking Behind the Supermarket with You. I've got the first 2 volumes of it right here. I think volume 3 is on the other shelf. And then we got volumes 1 and 3 of Sawada and the House of Monsters. I have volume 2 on the TBR shelf. And then we got Adol, volumes 1 and 3. Volume 2 is on the TBR shelf. I think I showed it to you already. And then I talked about this as well. This is on my TBR shelf. This is the illustrated guide to Monster Girls. So yeah, up to volume 4 and volume 4, which is a nice thick volume, by the way. Volume 4 is a nice thick volume of illustrated guide to Monster Girls. That completes the whole set of illustrated guide. Alright, so down here at the very bottom, we have the first 2 volumes of Elusive Samurai. I never picked up any more of this. I read the first volume of it, talked about it in a video, and then just like never continued it. Same thing with Kemono Jihen. I talked about this in a video as well. I have the first 2 volumes of it, and like just have not continued it. And then next to that, we've got Gachiakuta, volumes 2 and 4. I'm sorry, volume 1's right here. I was thinking like, what the hell is volume 4? I was like, where's volume 1? So volume 1 there. Volume 3 I think I showed you was on my other shelf. And then we've got Doubles Candy right here. Volumes 1, 3, and 4 of Doubles Candy. Volume 2 is on the TBR shelf. So yeah, there's Doubles Candy. And then we got volume 2 of Police Put Them On, and then volume 1 of Sakura Saku, which I talked about previously. That's what sold me on it right there. I saw that art, and I was just like, this looks gorgeous, so I ended up checking it out. And then we got volume 1 of Insomniacs After School right there. So yeah, we got volume 2 as well, I think. Or volume 3, I'm sorry, of Insomniacs After School. And then next to that, we've got the first volume of Call the Name of the Night, and that's a great series. Really beautifully made, really beautifully drawn. This is by a creator that is not Japanese. I forgot where he's from. I think he's from Croatia, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it's a great series. And then next to that, we've got Kowloon Generic Romance. I have up to volume 7 of Kowloon Generic Romance. This is such a wild series. I talked about this in a video. I talked about Kowloon Generic Romance in a video a while ago. But yeah, this is a solid series as well. And then next to that, we got Hikaru, The Summer Hikaru Died. I have volumes 1 and 3 of The Summer Hikaru Died right here. And really loved this first volume. I talked about it for a Halloween horror reads video that I'd done. And then there's my other copy of Hanako, Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. I told you I had 2 of them. Both of them gifts from my friend Justin. And then we got volume 2 right there of Hanako-kun. This is also, so like the rest of these, except for this volume, so everything except for this volume right here of Kingdom of Quartz were gifted by my friend Justin. That's down here, I mean, just these right here. Poetry of Ran is also a gift from my friend Justin. I think that's a complete set right there. These 2 volumes is a complete set of the Poetry of Ran. And then we got Taking Care of God, which is a Chinese creator. And then next to that, we have these Witches Printing Office or whatever. Witches Printing Office. Those right there, both gifts from my friend Justin. So yeah, and then at the end I got Kingdom of Quartz. So yeah, that is what is for the most part my Spanish shelf, and then kind of some odds and ends of manga that aren't Spanish, you know, near the end of it. So yeah, on to the final shelf, and then we will conclude this this tour video. All right, so this is it. This is the final shelf. This is the J shelf. All right, so at the very top of the J shelf, we've got JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Series 1, Part 1, and then we got Part 2. It's 4 volumes for Part 2, and then Volume And then part 3 is 10 total volumes. And then right next to that, we got a copy of one of my favorite films ever by Ari Aster. That is Midsummer. That is the director's cut of Midsummer. Not manga, but a solid film. And then next to that, we've got Chobits volumes 2 through 3. And so let's pull this one out. And right there, yeah, we got volume 2 of Chobits. And then we got the Fable, volumes 1 through 4 of the Fable of these Omnis. And then right next to that, we got the first 2 volumes of Innocent. I have volume 3 on the way. I'm not really sure when exactly it will get here, but that is there. And then we got the Summertime Rendering. We got volumes 1 through 5. Volume 6 is on my TBR shelf, as I showed you previously. This is a solid series, really well done. I want to knock out a video about Summertime Rendering. And then right next to that, we got by Akira Hiramoto, we got Prison School. So right there, volume 1 of Prison School, and then volume 3, I'll do up to volume 3. And then we got the rest of Prison School right here, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And that completes all of Prison School. And then next to that, we got the rest of my Sekide collection. And I'm missing, as you can see, 5 and 6, since those are both out of print. I really wish they would come back into print, but I guess the odds of that happening are pretty much nil. Like, it's probably never going to happen. And then right here, we've got volume 10 of Sekide, which is 360, I guess, 360 Days Without Her. And then we got Robotics Notes, the conclusion right here of Robotics Notes. I should have mentioned earlier, but these are Barnes & Noble exclusives. Same with the other one, Robotics Notes, that I have. That's also a Barnes & Noble exclusive. And then we got Steins Gate right here, the complete manga, the original manga for Steins Gate. And then we got Steins Gate O, which is like the continuation of Steins Gate. Kind of like, I think like an alternate universe or something, Steins Gate. And then right here we got Initial D, volumes 1 through 4 that are available so far of Initial D of the classic series. And then next to that, we have the first 3 volumes of Inuyasha. And so this is a series that I only pick up in Barnes and Nobles. I don't know why I made that like a thing, but like I like to just pick those up in the wild if I see them. And then we got Appare Ranma, which is a series that is completed right here in this, in that, the Omni there. And then down here we have PTSD Radio. This concludes PTSD Radio. These volumes right here. Volume 2 is on my TBR shelf. And yeah, I love the series. And then we got FLCL. This is another series that I also picked up at Barnes & Noble. I picked it up during my last video that I recorded there. We've got Prophecy right here. This is the same creator who did Manhole, but I'm keeping these separately since that one's in Spanish, and I kind of like to keep my Spanish manga in its own shelf. And then we got Dororo, the complete, or the omnibus edition by Osamu Tezuka. I wanted to read this, after reading Search and Destroy and falling in love with Search and Destroy. Like, I want to go back and read the source material. This one, I'm not 100% certain if it's super risky. No, this one's not too risky. The second volume is a little more risky. Nana to Kaoru, volume 1. And then we got King in Limbo. I have the first volume of the series. I really want to read this. Hopefully next year I'll do so. Same with Taco P's Original Sin. This is getting an anime now, so I definitely want to get on that train ASAP. And then we got volume 2 of Cells at Work, which is the final volume. And then we got the following volume of this initial one. I need to get Cells at Work Black, so that's a reminder. I need to jump on that when I'm done with this. And then we got volume 2 of Fairy Tail, these Omnis. And then after that, we have the X-Men manga volume 1. This is completed in 2 volumes. And these were made because I think X-Men was coming to Japan and they wanted to have something to kind of get Japanese people involved in like Marvel and whatnot. So they made an X-Men manga to like kind of entice, Japanese readers and whatnot to check out the X-Men cartoon. And then we have Ajin and was it Demi-Human? Yeah, Ajin Demi-Human. This is a complete Omni volume or part 1. I remember mentioning this in my haul video that I did in my in my Barnes & Noble haul video, I mentioned that I had that coming in the mail, and here it is. It finally arrived. And then after that, we got After the Rain, Volume 1. This is the same creator of Kowloon Generic Romance. And then all the way at the bottom of this shelf, we have the continuation of After the Rain, and this is complete After the Rain in 5 volumes. And then next to that, we got Doubt Volume 2. I kind of regret picking these up, since I don't know if I'm ever going to finish Doubt Volume 1, and that concludes all of Doubt in those 2 volumes. And then we got All You Need Is Kill, which I recently found out is actually based on a novel. I thought All You Need Is Kill was the original, and then Edge of Tomorrow was the adaptation of this graphic novel, the comic, the manga, I mean. And then Break of Dawn, right here. This is a complete series right there of that. And we got Orb on the Movements of the Earth, which also has an anime now, and I've had this for a while. We got Witches, which I love. This is Daisuke Igarashi. I did a video about this forever ago. So good, dude. If I was going to recommend you anything, I think on these shelves, I'd probably recommend Witches. Same with Music of Marie. This is Osamu Furuya. This is such a well-made world and whatnot. Check out my videos on both of these, dude, if you want like a thorough explanation of each story. And then we got Shigo Atera right here. Volumes 1 and 3. I picked these up in Orlando on a work trip. I went to a Barnes & Noble there and picked those up. And then we got Sensei's Pious Lie. I've never read this. I've had it on the shelf forever. I was going to read it, and then I saw somebody say that it was terrible. And ended up never continuing it, never reading it. And then right here we got Tomahawk Angel Volume 2. Those are the only 2 available volumes of that series. And then we got Lychee Light Club right there. And these are by Osamu Furuya. And then we got No Longer Human, which I'm going to be talking about for a video at some point in time, by Osamu Furuya. This is his take on the Osamu Dazai novel that I also own. So I'm going to read the novel first, and then I'm going to read this No Longer Human and Junji Ito's No Longer Human for a video. So that's it. That's the whole tour video. We did it. That is the complete tour video of everything that I own that is manga. I hope that you've all enjoyed our time together. It's so wild that we actually did this. I can't believe it. We went through all of this manga, top to bottom. It feels so wild. And so I really want to say thank you all so much for watching this video, for hanging out with me, for watching me go through all of this stuff. And I hope that you had a blast, because I definitely had a lot of fun kind of going through all of these volumes of manga and talking about each and every one of them with you all. So yeah, please take care of yourselves. Again, thank you so much for hanging out with me, for watching. And yeah, I got a ton of content coming out next year, so stick around for that. And yeah, I'll see you all in the 2025 videos that I got to drop. So take care of yourselves. Until next time that we meet.